It's a little cold over here.
A little toot.
But yeah, dude, like I was saying about the being detained in China was a weird experience. I think I'm past the statute of limitations though of being in trouble talking about it or anything, if there is.
Oh shit! You want to get in trouble for talking about it?
It's China. We don't know about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a real experience. It makes you wonder more about the Putin interview because he was there to actually interview someone. I was just there getting interrogated by someone who didn't speak my language.
Yeah, but it's not like everybody knows who Tucker Carlson is. You know what I'm saying? It's not like they're like, oh, he's coming over here to spy on us.
No. I'm saying like for Tucker, like imagine if I was speaking a different language right now, and you had an earpiece that was like translating it in real
I wouldn't
time.
be able to pay attention.
Exactly. So
I would probably be rambling about like the 1300s.
anyway, the reason I got detained, it all started back in 1972.
Yeah. You got to go 50 years before I was born.
But yeah, man, just listen to a fucking detective or whatever they call their guys over in China.
Chinaman. I think they all just call
I think
each
they're
other
Chinese
Chinaman.
detectives.
Yes.
In China, I think they're just detectives, though.
I think Chinaman. I think they all just call it China. They're like, "What's up, Chinaman?" You know what I'm saying? It's like,
and also their currency is weird because they gave me vouchers after everything, after the whole mishap and everything. They gave me vouchers, and
it was like 1 million something.
yeah, it was some ridiculously high number, and me being the Marine in me was like, I'm gonna fucking have a beer in this airport with my steak dinner or whatever the fuck I was eating.
You guys got Bud Light? Want some real beer?
I did. I was
Got
like,
some Coors?
I just looked at the beers or looked at the little menu section of the beers, and I was like, or the beer section of the menu, and I was like,
Can I get the one with 3 lines in it and then 2? Can I get the number sign looking thing?
but yeah, it was I was fully ready to get like chewed the fuck out when I got back. Surprisingly, I didn't. I don't know if it was just one of those things where like they want to be hush hush about it or whatever. I don't even know if my buddy Lampy even told anyone. He might have like told a staff sergeant or something like that. Hey, just so you know, one of our NCOs is
just so you know, we might be going to war with China.
we might have a prisoner of not even war, just
Yeah.
a prisoner over in China.
Yeah. You run that up however high the chain you want to go. Just so you know.
He did the ultimate move and just passed it the fuck on.
Yeah.
Not my problem no more. I pass it on to someone with
Yeah.
a little bit more fucking
He's got
metal on his collars.
Yeah, he's got one more fucking ladder than I do.
But yeah, it was think about it now. Telling the story again is just it's wild that even happened to me. You know what a mistake that is. But
I got a similar story.
did you get detained in North Korea? Are you gonna try and one up me right now?
No. So went to the recruiting station. I signed some paperwork, and then like a year later, I was in Hawaii. It's really weird. Yeah, I stayed there for 4 years.
I was detained in Hawaii for 4 years.
Yeah, it's horrible.
They made me cut grass with fucking scissors and shit, like dumb.
Yeah. Got to see the world though.
Woo, a little bit of it.
Yeah, well, flyover countries. Yeah, all that extra shit, you know. Yeah. If you flew over France, it's kind of the same thing as being there, you know.
Yeah. Oh, no one wants to go to France.
Yeah.
Especially
World War II veterans.
No, they probably want to go back. But like, yeah, fuck this place up back in the day, boy.
Liberated the shit out of this place.
Just walk down the street. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. How do you say you're welcome?
It all starts
French?
in the 1300s. Alexander the Great.
Yeah, it's funny we make fun of the French all the time, but I guess I was watching a video or something like that the other day, and they were saying that the French army, like overall, has like the most of the longest standing armies. They have the most accolades or whatever. Like they've been one of the most
Yeah, because they
consistently.
bow down all the time.
No, I mean,
We have the least amount of casualties out of any war. Yeah, it's because you don't fight.
because it's a fucking war crime to kill you
Yeah.
when you fucking have a flag in your hand. That wouldn't have been a problem though if I had American insurance.
American
I'd have
insurance.
pulled my American insurance
So-
card, like
Weird segue.
Well, if the insurance that we talk about all the time, if that was a thing, it probably would have fucking saved me. Oh, we can't touch him. He's got insurance. Can't fucking arrest him.
I don't think that's how that would work.
Yeah, it would work. I think China knows. People in the news and all these. I know they know more than us and they have more access to that stuff, but I don't know, man. I don't really think China and Russia and all. I don't think they're as a big a threat as everyone thinks. Not like toe to toe army wise. Like, yeah.
I mean, I think they're powerful armies, but I think like
Well,
our
yeah.
news is blowing everything out of, like I'm not saying there's not evil people. I'm not sticking up for Putin or whoever fucking Ching Chong man over in China, whatever his name is.
Xi Jinping.
Yeah,
Stupid name, by the way.
yeah. But like, I mean, everybody's just kind of looking out for their own people, except for Americans. Like we're opening up the border, but helping other people close their borders.
Yeah.
And also funding wars to help keep people out. Like, how does that make any sense? Like, we're funding Ukraine because Russia's invading them. Russia thinks they own that land. They think they have the rights to it, like historically.
Yeah.
So that's why Russia's doing that, supposedly. Allegedly. So that's why they're doing that. But then our border's just wide open. But we're giving them money to keep Russia out of their country, or giving Israel's money to keep terrorists out of their country. Like, because again, they think that land is rightfully theirs, And then if you grew up thinking that your whole life, and then you grew up saying no, it's not, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to fight each other. It's just nature of the beast. That's human nature.
Well,
it's going to happen.
Why
do we have to fund it?
Yeah.
And I could see. I'm not saying we should fund it, but I could see if we were locked down, like nobody gets in our country unless you fucking come across legally, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna help these other people do it too, but we're not.
Yeah,
we're just letting them like.
You're not gonna go to a psychiatrist who has like suicidal thoughts.
Yeah,
because you go to a psychiatrist to keep yourself from having those thoughts and hurting yourself and whatever your problem is, but I'm not. You
walk out of the room and you hear bang. What the fuck was that?
But that's the thing. Like I'm all about helping other countries and shit, but we gotta help ourselves first, man. I'm if I don't have two pennies rubbed together, I'm not gonna be able to, even if I wanted to, help a friend out. Yeah. I'll do my best. I'll do what I can. I always have. I always will. But at the end of the day, I won't be able to give you the aid you need because I don't have the aid that you need. We can't be a country that has failing borders and a terrible government and all this other stuff. But hey, here's a lot more money for you guys to keep fighting this war. And I'm all about allies and taking care of people that we've signed treaties with and stuff. But at some point, we have to fix ourselves before we fix everyone else. And it sucks, yeah, but if you go off the ideology of Russia about how we own that land and stuff like that, I mean, everyone everywhere has that ideology. We even have that ideology here. The Native Americans, their reservations, they believe the land. That's a whole other tangent I can get into. But just like the law in America, what is it, 9/10 of the law's possession or whatever? Like, after you own it for so long, it's one of those things where you can't just reverse it because there's so much that's happened in so many years that you can't just like, oh, by the way, the Native Americans they own the land again, even though it was a fucked deal we gave them, and it wasn't like it was it was a deal and like everyone agreed on it. There was terrible things that we did, terrible things that they did.
Yeah,
everyone does terrible things.
Everybody's done terrible things. There's no certain race or religion or anything that's innocent.
Culture that has clean hands.
Yeah, there's nobody. But like at the same time, it's like Native Americans. There were certain people that sold their own shit, and their own people got fucked. They
made bad deals.
Not everybody made out on it.
They made bad deals.
Not everybody's going to come out on top. And unfortunately, that's just how it is. Same thing with like Africa during the slave trade. It's not like we were just going over there grabbing motherfuckers.
Yeah, hey, they were selling them to us.
Yeah, they were selling them to.
They're like, hey, you want a bunch of people? Give us a bunch of money and goods and supplies, and yeah, you can have whoever you want.
Yeah, Everybody's had slaves. The Jews were slaves. The Irish were slaves.
Everybody's had slaves, and everyone
slaves.
At one point pretty much has been slaves.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Technically, we're all still slaves. We just do it. It's just done different.
Yeah.
But we can get into that later.
That's a whole fucking episode, dude.
That's pretty much what it's always been. It's always been like a class, Like, I don't know for a fact. I mean, obviously I wasn't around back then, but
it all starts back in.
I doubt that like a wealthy. We'll use blacks for example. Just because just to piss somebody off.
It's a hot topic,
but you like a wealthy black man from Africa, do you think the prince from Africa is going to be a slave? No, he's not. No. He'll never be a slave because he's royalty. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't go over there taking the kings and princes and stuff. They took.
And that's anybody. That's any culture. He was selling slaves. He was part of the slave trade, not getting on the boats. He was the one building the boats. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's any culture. Pick a race, pick a religion, doesn't matter. Pick a culture. It happened. Sorry, sucks.
A lot of people that do the whole like reparations talk. First off, I don't believe in reparations. I don't think it would solve anything.
Where not only that, where would it stop though?
Where would it stop? Where would it start? Like where does it even start? Like who do we start giving reparations to? Like
who pays the reparations?
We have to. Does that mean that like if we trace it back and to the ancestry and there's a black man living in America now who's made a name for himself or his family has made a name for himself for the past 2 or 3 generations, and turns out that they weren't even slaves.
They were slave owners.
They were slave owners in some way, shape, or form in another country or something like that.
And then we're paying reparations. Then we trace it back. It turns out our ancestors were slaves too.
Yeah,
but we're paying reparations.
How far back do we go for reparations?
Yeah,
because another thing people say is back before I go into that, they always say like with the Native Americans like that, it's like we should get their land back. It was theirs and stuff like that. Okay, well.
Great, give up your fucking neighborhood then.
Yeah, they're doing great over there in the reservations apparently.
That's probably where your fucking house is sitting on.
Yeah, but they say that, and I don't support what happened in the Civil War. I think it was staying in America just like slavery, but I agree. The Confederates lost. Get over it. The Native Americans lost. Get over it. You lost. Game over. Like what? At what point do we? If that's the case, we got to go all the way back to the beginning of time, of our beginning of humanity, and find out who was where and give that land back to those people.
Yeah, but we don't know where it started.
Exactly. So. They only want to go back so far.
Yeah.
And they always say, slavery in America.
There's an argument whether we come from monkeys or fucking God.
We can't even get that right.
Yeah.
We can't even agree on that.
Start?
But you got to find a place to start and place to end, but you can't. It's impossible. So let's kind of it's one of those. Let's just
stop crying.
Let's just squash this. Live in the now. Let's just get shit done together. Like that's kind of
we'll lock arms. Walk up to the fucking Capitol.
All of us. Native
every one of us.
Americans,
Yeah,
black people,
yeah. Native Americans
Asians.
might not want to do it because they are getting the government check. And I've seen firsthand what the government. Anybody out there in the Midwest can see what the government check, like, not just a welfare check, but like a reparations style check. I don't know what they call it, but it just, if you want a liquor store out in the Midwest somewhere, you good.
I know a guy.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but
Not all of them, not all of them,
it just, you think about it.
but there's a lot.
Think about it. It's like I don't get why it always has to be a fight with everyone. Everything always has to be a fucking problem. You know,
Yeah.
like I don't like the whole mantra. Like, why can't we all just get along, man? But like, why can't we just get along? Like we're all in this fucking rock together. We're all.
I don't know if I said it on the podcast before, but like, black people and rednecks. Why do we not get along with
We
each
have
other?
so much more in common than everyone
We're
thinks.
the same people. We're just different skin color. You like guns, we like guns. You like big lifted trucks with rims. We like big lifted trucks with, well, now rims, I guess, with
Yeah.
all the fucking little fuckboys running around.
All the pizza
Yeah.
pizza rims.
You like smoking weed, we like smoking weed. You don't like government control, we don't like government control. You know,
We have a lot more in common than
you guys love barbecue. Guess what, dude?
Hey.
We love barbecue too. Why, like, everybody's always like, oh, rednecks and blacks. I've never had that issue.
Nope.
Never had that issue.
No.
I've never seen it in person. We grew up in the sticks.
Yeah.
I mean, the Florida sticks, you know, it might
Florida
be a little.
sticks.
I'm not saying it's not like that in Alabama or Louisiana or the Carolinas or Georgia. I mean, there's probably parts, but down here in Florida, we all just kind of get along. Until all these motherfuckers start moving down here. Now everybody's like, ooh, oh, like this
problem
person,
and shit like
yeah.
that. And
now it's all the word of mouth pages on Facebook. Oh, why are you doing this? I saw one the other day. It was on the Claremont word of mouth. Fucking dog sitting up on a toolbox.
I saw that too.
Yeah. This is dangerous. Fuck off.
It's his business.
Yeah.
His dog.
Yeah, it's his dog. It's his truck. Whatever. Fuck off.
You're not paying for his insurance.
Yeah. You're not paying for his insurance. It's not your dog.
I actually saw
Like,
that.
You want your dog to sit in the house all day. That's great. Cool.
Yeah. Hey, I saw it was here in Lady Lake, and I actually saw a dog. It was a couple of dog crates in the bed of a truck. There was dogs in them, and there was another dog. They were obviously hunting dogs. Like, they had the fucking big meaty ass collars with trackers on them. And there's one, and they must have thought I was looking at it like they were a problem. I wasn't. I was looking at it because I was fascinated, because the dog was on top of the toolbox and had no collar, no nothing hooking him to the truck. There was nothing. He was just chilling.
Yeah.
I was looking. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. I can't
Dude,
get
those
my
people
dog
over
to
in
do that.
Claremont, they'd fucking freak the fuck out. They
Dude.
went up here to Circle K up here just for about 5 minutes.
Driving
Dude.
to Circle K.
Yeah, there's probably people dragging their dogs through the parking lot, dude. Oh, there's no fucking dog back there? Damn. Sorry.
Back in there, Scooby.
Sorry, I smoked a lot of meth before I left the house.
Yeah. Pet insurance.
But yeah, man, people just need to mind their own fucking business. That's the thing.
Yeah. If we
It's
all
like-
mind our own business, guess what? The whole mantra, why can't we just get along and be friends and everyone?
wanna
Not
go
even
to-
be friends, just why can't we just coexist?
I want to go to that person's house, take a picture of their dog sitting on the couch. Like,
Oh
oh,
my
wow,
God.
this dog's locked up in the house all day long. It doesn't even have a yard to play around in. It can't even run freely. It's got to be on a leash every time it leaves the house. That
Yeah.
sounds dumb as shit.
That's
I bet you that dog on that toolbox is living a way better life than your fucking little chihuahua at the house.
And guess what? I guarantee you, at one point in his life, in his little dog life, he probably jumped off that toolbox and was like, "Yep, not doing that again."
Yeah.
That hurt.
Pops did that one time. And
I know you fucking Kobe.
He made the leash too long. But he's fine.
He's fine.
I mean, he got a little road rash, but
Little road rash, had to shave him down, But dog was happy.
he's a little stupid too. But
Was it like a border collie or something like that?
whatever Lassie is,
Yeah.
that
Whatever
type of
that
dog.
is.
I had one like that. It was a stray. I found it when I was in Oklahoma. I found a dog like that, and that dog did not listen for shit. Didn't do a fucking. All I wanted to do was just run away. I had to constantly looking for that dog because I took it in you know. And one day it just ran away and never came back. I was like, somebody else's problem now.
Yep.
Gone with the wind, son.
Yeah. I'm glad my dogs listen. When I first moved to that property, I was a little nervous because we have the busier road in front of us now, but the bigger backyard. I was a little nervous they would, but they don't ever go out there. The few times they started going past the front of the house, fucking just got into them real quick, and I can literally like I love it because I can let my dogs out, and my kids out back, keep the screen door blinds open. I can be on the computer or whatever, just chilling in the house, and they're all back there. And it's funny because they're not trained to protect the kids, but I know that if a stray dog came out of nowhere, I know that two dogs would fuck them up. Well, the male dog would. The female dog's pussy.
Yeah.
She'll probably cower down and be at the screen door like fucking begging to come in.
I don't think my dogs would do anything. They would just bark a lot. They would act big.
And that's all they count. That's all I need.
Yeah.
You know, that's my alarm system. I try. You know, if it's late at night and there's a weird noise outside and he barks a little bit, I don't get on to him. You know, because I don't want him to be afraid to bark if he hears something.
Yeah.
Because the last thing I need is me to tell him to shut up over and over, and then someone actually is at the door. It does kind of suck though. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm trying to take a shower, and next you know I hear. I was like, "Fuck!"
You grabbing your shower gun?
Keep that bitch duct tape in my ass crack.
Poor dogs. They got all that property running around on. And they get to go ride around in the car and shit. They can do whatever they want.
People go get these dogs that are meant to be running free all the time, and they bring them to this HOA neighborhood. They have a little fucking 15 by 15 backyard.
They have like German shepherds and shit. It's like, yo, them things need to burn some energy, dude.
My dog looks skinny as hell, dude, but he's a healthy dog. He just looks skinny. He's always.
You see Gunny, dude. That motherfucker's like what, 10 years old now? Still fucking
just hooking and booking, dude.
Could you imagine if he was like, if I had to leash him all the time and do that? Like, fuck that, dude.
Nah.
I'd feel bad for him.
Yeah.
We literally, when I was living in Oklahoma, when we first got him, I had his sister from the same litter, and we was living in an apartment. I was like, there's not, and I was planning on moving back down here, but I didn't want to bring two dogs, so I ended up giving another dog away to some big farmer over there in Oklahoma. So, I'm sure that dog's living a pretty cool life.
Yeah.
Probably like herding some cattle or something.
I fucking love it, dude. I open the screen door and fuckers take the fuck off. I love it. Because before, the house we lived in before, they 10, 15, 20 feet and they had to stop because of the fence or, so. But now I don't have to sit there and like try to get them to, run on the dirt road. Right. Now I just let them out and they boom, book it to the back of the property. Pretty good at listening to. Not the best, but good enough.
They get away every once in a while. But they come back.
What's up?
So they get away. Well, Gunny does. Bruce is a little bitch, and he won't leave the property. As soon as Gunny like leaves the property, Bruce is like, "Ooh, this isn't right. I'm going home.
I'm scared."
But that motherfucker's from the woods, though. He knows what it's like not to have a home. You know what I'm saying?
He's like, "Nah, I'm good. It's warm in the house."
Best dogs I ever owned.
Yeah, these are the first dogs I ever owned as an adult. But
I mean, I've had Gunny since he was a puppy, but Bruce found him in the woods, and he's been a great dog. I mean, I wouldn't put him in a dog fight, Like if you need if like a cuddling contest, Bruce is your guy right there. Motherfucker win.
Who's got the more pathetic dog?
Yeah. He acts big every time he goes out the door. Woo! Yeah, you ain't gonna do shit, dude.
You gonna do fucking shit, dude.
He just barks at nothing every time we go out the door. So it's like 3 good, solid, like, oh. But that's it. Then he's like back to a little bitch. He's like, I just got to act big for a second. Let all these squirrels know this is my property, you know what I'm saying?
He's just doing that to scare off anything that might be bigger than him.
Yeah.
Anybody out here? No? Okay.
Hopefully that bear's gone. Because that bear lucky he's gone because I was going to fuck him up.
You're lucky he's holding me back, dog. Let me know. Telling you now. That's okay, man. You got I didn't want to get it. She did though, but we got dog insurance on them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Did it not work? Didn't like something
No,
happen to one of y'all's dogs and then like the
if I
insurance didn't
remember,
cover it?
if I remember correctly, it was we had to pay up front or something like that, and then like submit the paperwork to the dog insurance, and they pay us back or something. So like it works, but it's you got to think
There's a
about it.
process.
Hmm?
There's a process.
It's a process, and then you got to think about it. Like as much as we've used it, we probably would have saved a little bit of money for what we pay a month. It's not expensive. It's not expensive per dog. It's nothing crazy, but it's
So like a couple dollars a month, or
yeah, no more than like $15 a month, I think, per dog.
so, to me that's too much.
That's me too, but you know they're
So I'm not good at math, but that's however much a year. That's, yeah, I'm out.
yeah, but I don't know, man. It's like the only type of insurance that's optional that I have, considering all insurance should be optional.
Yeah, insurance should be optional.
Like we talked about earlier, the insurance in general is just like
It's a scam.
how the fuck did they get us to go with that?
Insurance is a scam.
How do they get the American people? I mean, more. I know it's not just America, but how do they get everyone on board with that? Like, hey, you're going to pay this company a monthly fee of what they determine you need to pay.
No, insurance is great. They just do it wrong.
That's what I'm saying though. Like,
And it might have started out like that because, like, the Amish. So I found this out when I went to Pennsylvania. The Amish are self-insured. So, like, for every
well, I mean,
well, I'm saying like
nothing's going to get burnt down from a fucking electrical burn over there.
yeah, but if anything does burn down, the Amish community has like their own like I can't remember how it works, but like the Amish, yeah, their shit's insured like a motherfucker, like covered 100% no matter what. Because like I think it's like you give like $1 for every $10,000 you have or some shit like in the community. So if like your neighbor's house burns down, you donate $1, your neighbor donates $1 or whatever, it might be like $100 per thousand or something like that, like whatever it goes off of your wealth or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or it's something along those lines. But like they're insured,
Yeah.
like they're fucking little. They get a flat spot in their wooden rim. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but I think it's more like their property and maybe like their cattle and shit. But
Well, I mean, I, when I worked for the motor clubs, and I say worked for the motor clubs because I did. No one works with the motor clubs. You're a fucking talking about being a slave to the labor.
the American people are slaves. Business owners are modern day slave owners.
Yeah. I don't know that.
Are they not?
But like I met so many people that would say like, that they're paying for that roadside, because you're only covered for so much, and I get why they do that because then you're not gonna get towed from here to California. But there's been a lot of people that talk about the insurance thing and they're like, I got into an accident and I had full coverage and everything, but they're not covering it because of one stipulation or something. And it's like, how do they get everyone to be on board of like,
You keep using this everyone on board thing. Nobody was on board with it. They just kind of kept changing it and changing it and changing it until it got to the point where like, yeah, we're just not going to cover certain shit.
But it's like taxes though. It's like taxes. Like we shouldn't be forced to pay certain things that we don't feel like we have to pay. And that's where the whole, like you say all the time, like America's, in another form of slavery, because instead of them using us for labor and then like we get to stay in houses and stuff like that for free, they're not great, whatever. But now it's like instead of that, I'm just gonna pay you enough to live like an okay life. And if you're a little smarter than the average human being, you'll do better than them.
Yeah.
Or if you're a little more ambitious or whatever. But insurance in general is just it's crazy to think that imagine if you paid. I can't even think of another thing to compare it to. I really can't. Imagine you paid your car note every month, and then one day they decide like, hey, like, you know, we're just gonna take it. What do you mean you're gonna take it? I pay up every month. I'm good to go. This might be a bad example, but like I paid every month. I'm good to go. Why are you taking it? We don't think you're a good fit for our finance company anymore. So we're just gonna take it. That's what insurance does. I pay every month, and then if something happens, I need to use it. They could say no. Like when you can't. I have comprehensive. I have everything I'm required to have. Like why are you saying no? There's no reason that I can't pay for insurance. If I pay full coverage for insurance and something, whether it's the fucking smallest thing, why is it not covered? In some aspects, I know majority of the time, majority of the time it's covered. But that one time, that's all it takes. It's like the whole thing. Like I'd rather see 10,000 guilty men walk free than one innocent man be locked up. It's the same concept. There's no reason everyone's paying all this money towards insurance, and then 30 million people use it every day, and then one person gets denied, even though they paid every month. Why is that? Why is that even a fucking thing? And it's because, going back to the original point, insurance is just a fucking scam to make us pay more money towards shit. And it's just, it's sickening. It's upsetting when you really fucking think about it. And it goes right along with taxes. It should be optional. But if the option to pay taxes, you don't reap the benefits of some of the things that you can benefit from having taxes. The very few things you can benefit from paying taxes.
Yeah.
But
you should have like so as far as taxes go, I think you should be like, okay, you pay 5% of whatever your monthly income is. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like your yearly income, however you want to slice it.
Yeah.
But you pay 5%. Now, if you want to pay more, then that's up to you. If you want, like, yeah, you could have it where like, oh, I want to pay some to this, I want to pay some to that, I want to pay some to this. Like yeah, just like anything, schools, fucking roads, whatever you want to, whatever you want to pay towards. You want to donate more money to the police? Go for it. You want.
Don't even fucking get me started on that shit right now, dude.
You want your firefighters fucking doing some shit? Great, donate or pay the tax. Or it should be really more of a donation, but like Social Security, like if I don't want to, like, I'd rather keep my money.
Yeah.
I'd rather use my money to invest in things throughout my life.
That's gonna be more money when I retire.
Yeah, or possibly fucking fall on my face and I'll just be a fucking piece of shit.
You're the reason, though. That's like your actions get you to where you are. That's the fact that these people will live their life and like put this money in a 401k and like, oh, I get this much money when I retire. Like, fucking clown world, dude.
Yeah. Well, like the Social Security is like, you say you pay $200 a week into Social Security your whole life, your whole fucking life. You get what, $120 back the last few years of your life? Well, I thought I was supposed to get that back.
Yeah.
Like, and then now they're saying like the millennials, we're not going to start receiving it until like we're in like our late 70s or some shit, or 80s or whatever it was.
Well, if Nikki Haley becomes president, she wants to do that. She's like, oh, 65 is way too young. But bitch.
Yeah, fuck you.
60. Do you know what's going on? They're so disconnected from the fucking world.
Yeah.
All these people that career politicians and all, they're rich elite motherfuckers. They're disconnected.
Yeah.
They don't understand. The rich elite that have made their life off of a private industry, private entity, I don't care if they get it or not, because they're not making decisions. Well, maybe they are. Who knows?
Yeah.
But they're not the ones with the faces on the camera making decisions for us. But these people that have no fucking clue how the world works. We don't want better retirement. We want to be able to do the shit we want to do with our money when we want to.
And how we want to. Because like so back in the day, like if the United States want to go to the war, right? People would have to buy bonds to fund the war. Well, we don't have to do that no more.
Yeah, because no one will be buying bonds right now for fucking Ukraine.
All this money going to Ukraine and Israel, we'd be like, no, I'm not buying shit, dude. I'm going to use my money, but they don't. There's no accountability.
Yeah,
there's Yeah, well, this guy me and this guy shook hands one time, like 10 years ago, and we got some shady shit going on behind doors. So we're gonna give him like $10 billion. What? Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa!
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Hold on.
whoa.
Who voted on this? Like, why are we paying for this shit? You know?
Yeah, I was listening to the radio the other day as they were talking about it, and they were trying to make the excuses like, oh well, this money for the bill that's going to Ukraine, it's going to go back into America too because the American Tomahawk missiles or whatever are being built in Ohio or whatever. The missiles are being built in America by Americans, so the money's coming back to us anyway. No, the fuck it's not. First off, we're giving all of our stockpile away to these guys. We're replenishing it with American jobs. That's fantastic. But it doesn't change the fact that we're funding a war that we should be funding. And I was still listening to it, and then as they were talking about all this money going to Ukraine, um, I got distracted because I hit a massive pothole in the fucking road, which slung my monster everywhere in the center console. So I got distracted by that, and I got frustrated because I'm like, fucking all this money to Ukraine, all this money to Israel, but I hit a fucking pothole.
Yeah, some guy in Ohio is making a shitload of money right now.
Yeah, some fucking
Supposedly.
manufacturer. Yeah, some manufacturer in Ohio is
Supposedly.
making all this money, but I fucking just.
Where you get all the microchips from? Because last I heard, they're coming from China. So who's making the money here?
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about Tomahawk missiles, but it don't sound like a fucking. It doesn't sound like a gun where you just point and shoot it. It sounds like it needs a lot of microchips. My truck's got like fucking 30 microchips in it. Apparently,
Probably more than that.
Yeah. So I wonder what a Tomahawk missile has. Mine, the most fancy thing on my truck is like lane assist.
And you don't even use that.
Yeah, turn it off because it's dumb. I don't like my truck driving me. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, man. I mean, that goes right back into the pocket of the insurance and taxes. How it's like all that should be optional. Taxes should be for the American. Like if I'm paying taxes, I wouldn't mind paying taxes.
Just 5%.
I wouldn't mind,
even 10%.
but I wouldn't even mind paying a little more if it just meant when I'm driving down the road, I don't have to worry about swerving a fucking
I want a receipt. Is what I want.
Yeah. I want an annual receipt of everything you spent all the taxpayer money on.
Yeah.
Because
even though okay, $10 went to this, $100 went to this,
Yeah.
That's what I want.
If it's impossible, guess what? Too fucking bad. Because I have to keep receipts for my business going back 3 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you bought a fucking oil filter back in 2020?
Yeah.
And you didn't keep the receipt? Yeah, dude, you're fucked. Like it's a fucking $10 oil filter.
You can't write that off because we don't have a receipt for it.
The audacity of them to give us credit scores.
Yeah.
And tell me I can't get a loan.
Yeah. What was the debt calculator doing? Going the wrong fucking way? Yeah. Go fuck yourself, dude.
But yeah, man, it's sickening to think of all the money that's going to those guys, and it's like, and then you see our borders are a mess. Fucking Texas National Guard is having a standoff with the federal government. It's like, what the fuck's going on in the world right now, man? Like,
yeah, it's wild shit.
Like, what is actually what the fuck's actually going on? Like, no one knows what's actually going on.
None of it makes sense.
Everything's just a distraction from everything. Like I said at the beginning of this year, I don't think I ever said it on here, but I'll say it here now so that way it's on the record. But I told you this year's gonna be fucking insane because they're gonna do everything they can to distract the American people from the election. They're gonna do everything they can, and I promise you, if you think that we're gonna go through this entire election year without some kind of third form of coronavirus or some kind of other thing going on, other global catastrophe or whatever going on, you're fucking dead wrong.
Dude, all they're doing is immuning us. They're making us immune to shit. Like diesel went up 30 cents a gallon again the other day. In one night, it went up 30 cents. I didn't even think nothing of it.
Yeah.
And that's all I think about is how the government's fucking corrupt and I fucking hate them. That's literally all I think about. I fucking dream at night. Like oh, fuck the government. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm jerking off, I'm like, oh, fuck the government. You know what I'm saying? That's how I get off. It's fucking the government. And then but even I was like, well, still gonna fill my truck up.
Yeah.
You know?
You see, that's how they get us, man. Still, you still gotta go to work, still gotta fill your truck up, still gotta, XYZ.
Be the slave.
You gotta be a slave.
And when I say business owners are like the modern day slave owners, I'm not talking about like local business. I'm talking like like bigger business,
Yeah.
people with some pull,
Yeah.
like your Amazon, your Walmart, all that shit. They might not. I mean, they're not literally slave owners, but like they're like the modern day slave owners.
Yeah.
Hire people for bare minimum,
And they know.
and then like back in the day, it was like you buy these people and give them bare minimum. Now you hire these people and pay them bare minimum.
Yeah.
It's the same shit. Prove me wrong.
Nah,
Prove me wrong.
no
Find
one
me,
can prove
find
you
me somebody at Walmart is living in a nice house that doesn't have like a wealthy, husband or wife or some
Well,
shit.
I said it before. Like you see movies or you see just older commercials and stuff. Or mainly movies because they try to depict the life of the 50s or whatever. But like, you know, they all have nice houses. They all drive the newest cars. They all have their wife has the most up to date stuff. Back in the day, it was like, oh, we have microwaves. We have a fucking color television in our room and shit like that. And what does the dad
Trade your color, man, for a color TV.
and what does the dad do? Oh, he puts the caps on the
The Mountain Dew bottles.
yeah, he puts the caps on a Mountain Dew bottle down at the factory, the local factory that everyone in the neighborhood works at. You can't do that now. You did that now. You're living in a fucking 600 square foot apartment for fucking $3,000 a month, and you can't even afford that. You can't.
But you
afford to do
could.
shit.
You could afford that if they would stop taxing the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Stop taxing the fuck out of you, and stop fucking everything else. Stop sending money.
You know what
over
else?
To fucking
You know what else would help?
overseas.
Abolish minimum wage.
Yeah, get rid of minimum wage
Get rid of
altogether.
minimum wage.
Like minimum wage is 1 cent. That's
Yeah.
it. That's what minimum wage should
Yeah.
be. Get rid of minimum wage. All these people talk about, oh, you need to pay more. You need to pay more.
No.
No. If you want to make more money,
Learn
if
a
you
skill.
don't,
Learn
if
a
you don't
trade.
feel like, McDonald's is paying you enough,
Leave.
don't fucking work there.
Leave.
Well, guess what McDonald's will do? They'll either find somebody to replace you, or they'll start paying better. Once they realize that you have no idea. You think the 5 people sitting up in corporate McDonald's, wherever the fuck corporate McDonald's is, the 5
China.
people probably the 5 people sitting up there in a fucking little office at a desk counting their money or whatever the fuck they do all day. Like talking about, hey, what kind of fake meat can we use for chicken nuggets? Like, can we use dead babies?
Hey, what Bill Gates have you can use?
Hey, what do we do with all these aborted babies?
Mix them in the meat.
Fry them bitches up. But like, yeah, just they'll figure out a way. They'll either automate the shit like they're doing, or they'll start paying better.
I don't know if people noticed this or not, but when you started fighting for higher minimum wage, what happened? More computers started taking over.
Yeah, now we got people at Circle K using the self checkout.
While the person sits behind the counter,
while the person sits behind the counter, like, oh, you gotta hit it, you gotta hit that.
Because what they're gonna do is they're instead of having 15 people working at McDonald's at one location, they're gonna have 3 people that make way better money because they have a skill or a trade as far as like fixing computers or something like that, and all they're gonna be they're gonna be making more money sitting in their little region that they have like 4 restaurants that to take care of, and then they get an alert from the computer system saying, hey, one of our computers went down. And they'll drive their happy ass out there and they'll fix it and they'll leave.
Yeah, they're gonna be like $200K a year.
Yeah,
they're gonna be making more than everybody in that restaurant combined.
There you go. Simple as that. If you get rid of minimum wage, all these big fast food companies, all these big chain restaurants, they will have to start paying their employees better, but it won't cause the prices to go up because there's still going to be like a general like, okay, we're going to have to cap it between like $9 and $13 an hour. Like that we're going to have, like, if you're a cook at a restaurant, you're going to make between $9 and $13 an hour. Now you can go in there and say, I want $20 an hour, I'm going to cook for you. Well, we're not going to hire you because,
yeah, because they go off profit margins.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That's all they're going to do. They're going to if tomorrow
they're going to look at their cost of goods and be like,
if tomorrow minimum wage went away, they'll be like, okay, so we can pay this much realistically and get away with it.
Yeah.
Like they might try for the first few years to get like idiots to come in there for fucking $4, $5, whatever. But eventually,
people will
do it,
and they'll bitch about it,
But you have the ability to leave. You can always leave.
You're
working at McDonald's making $3 an hour. Guess what? Guess what Burger King's doing? They're paying $10 an hour, and their product's better now because they have better profit margin because the people that are working there and they're happy because they're getting paid what they want to get paid. The minimum wage is keeping the minimum wage worker. They're keeping them to the point where like, oh well, I'm making $3 higher than minimum wage. Fucking cool. You're making shit money then.
Yeah.
Don't know what to tell you.
You know how I never heard a bitch about money?
Hmm.
I've never heard welders bitch about money. Never heard plumbers talk about they ain't making enough money.
No.
I've never heard HVAC people. Never
And you don't have
any kind of skilled trade. Never
and you don't have
really
to have a
heard them.
fucking skilled trade by the time you're fucking 10 years old. Like
Yeah.
those
Well,
jobs.
you do need to buy 10 rental properties.
You
though.
do have to buy 10 rental properties at 10 years old.
Yeah.
But if you got rid of minimum wage and a 16-year-old got the license and wanted to go work at McDonald's, as long as their parents did right by them, him or her, whatever, they will be like, hey, do not take anything less than X amount of dollars. Don't take anything less than that. But the good news is when you're 16 to 18, as long as your parents have a fucking brain and did well for themselves, not even like crazy good, like just good. Just you guys go on vacation whenever you want, you guys have a good time. You don't have to have that job, but it'll get you that job experience. So what if you're making $6-7 an hour in 2025, 2024, whatever? So what if you're making that much money? You're making a little bit of money. You know, you don't have a mortgage, you don't have a car payment. You know, some people do. I know not everyone's fucking life is, you know, white privilege or whatever. But because I know mom and dad made the deal with me when I turned 16. The first thing I did when I turned 16 and I got my license, I fucking put like 7 applications in because I wanted my own money. Because I got tired of hearing the same thing, like, oh, you know, you can't do that because you need, you know. So they made a deal with me. They'll pay for the insurance and they'll pay for and they'll give me a truck, but I got to pay for gas and if I want to go do anything. So I got a fucking job, and I made like I don't know. I started like 50 cents higher than fucking minimum wage, like, and that was awesome to me. I was making like $200 a week, and I was only working 3-4 hours a day.
But that's so I have a theory behind that. I think that's why fast food sucks is because young people don't work there anymore. There's still young people that work there. We got those people that are like 30, 40 that they've already given up on life.
Yeah, they're miserable,
and they're fucking. They got the McDonald's makes it super easy to make a sandwich.
They make it impossible to fuck it up.
Yeah, they got like hey, you squeeze this handle one time and there's a perfect amount of ketchup every time, and they'll fucking like here's the burger and they're like squirt it over here on top of the wrapper and throw the bun on it, and then you open it up in your truck and you're like motherfucker,
you got ketchup all over your fucking hands.
So like a young person. Not every young person. This does not apply to everybody. But like that person wants to make more money. They want to do better. They have bigger ambitions. They have better, they have goals and dreams they want to chase. They're going to do a good job. Not everybody.
Yeah.
Some people are still going to fucking.
And if you want to stay at that job.
Some people are still going to fucking put pickles on my sandwich when I ask for no pickles.
Yeah. And if you want to stay at that job forever, more power to you, man.
Yeah.
Because
they need that. They need people to run the district. They need people to do this. They need people.
But if you're happy with that job and you're happy with just making whatever you're making, and that's what you think you're happy with, that's nice. But
don't apply
minimum
for
wage
food stamps.
What's that?
Don't apply for food stamps.
Don't
make bare minimum just so you can apply for food stamps. Like, be better.
Yeah.
Be a better person.
Yeah. Let the people who want to be better.
I agree with food stamps. I think food stamps, welfare, all that shit should be there.
But it should be capped per person.
Well, it should not only should be capped, it should be not necessarily capped, but there should be a time limit on it. Like, okay, dude, 8 months.
That's what I'm saying.
8 months.
Like
you ain't found a job in 8 months, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
but like imagine if it's capped, right? So say starting out when you turn 18, everyone has 12 months worth of food stamps they can use as an emergency oh shit fucking moment. And you can use it as is for the 12 months. So you don't have to use it consecutively. So turn 18 and you're like, fuck, I didn't think of what I wanted to do when I got out of high school. So I got to go to fucking work at I got to stay working at this minimum wage job. Well, not minimum wage because it's gone in this world. I got to stay working in this job where I'm not making much money. Let me go apply for food stamps. That'll give me a year to breathe. I'll be able to figure something out. And after that year's up, you're done. You're cut off. That's it. No more food stamps. If it only takes you 3 months, great. Use 3 months of food stamps. Move on to the trade or whatever, because then you can use it for if you go to a tech school for 6 months to get a skill. Work part-time somewhere, collect food stamps for 6 months, and if you want to keep doing it after that for another 6 months, cool. But if you're smart, you're like, okay, I'm gonna say those. I'm gonna reserve those 6 months of food stamps that I have from the rest of my life for an oh shit moment.
Yeah.
You go
I'm
trade,
gonna
you get better.
splurge right before I die.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck it. Oh shit. I'm fucking 80 years old.
You also shouldn't be able to buy a lobster with it though.
No.
Like
There's stipulations, but
you should go in there. That's fucking generic brand bread, generic fucking peanut butter, generic jelly. We'll let you get some generic ass water, bottled water. Actually, no, not even. You shouldn't be able to buy bottled water either.
Nope.
Go to the sink, fuck get that shit.
Yeah,
But
tap water.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. It shouldn't even be like a food stamp thing. It should be like hey, here's your piece of shit out over here. You know, like
yeah.
Go get that.
But
there's like 5 things on this aisle. That's it.
Just have a food stamp aisle.
Yeah.
You walking down the grocery just like
it's just all bread, all peanut butter and jelly, all generic.
Get some fucking ramen noodles in there. You throw them in there. You know, I'm feeling a little spicy this week.
Generic, like
generic.
Yeah.
Not the fucking good.
You're like dollar store fucking shit.
But yeah, get rid of minimum wage. You'll solve a lot of problems. There's a lot of things in this world that if you get rid of the norm that everyone's used to now,
take the government out of the equation.
Get the
and
fucking
it solves
hands
problems.
out of it. Yeah. Get the government's hands out of there.
Get their fingers out of your fucking ass, and you'll be able to move around a little bit easier.
A finger in the ass is not always a bad thing, but when the government is, that's when it's a bad time. But yeah, back at it. Fucking minimum wage, taxes. Don't pay them, or think about why you're paying them.
Yeah. Fuck taxes. Taxes are for the gays.